Dear friends, welcome to the vanabbemuseum and to Position 6, an exhibition which will open on Saturday. I would love it if we could all be together and we could celebrate this opening, but as you know, Corona times make that impossible. So I hope by these means, through the screen, we can at least connect to each other. Position 6 is, as it says, the sixth edition of a series of exhibitions that present small solo exhibitions of artists that we feel are particularly significant or important today, but also artists that you can connect together for yourself and see what the thematics, what the ideas that are emerging today in the art world. What we have here behind me is one of the artists, Naveen Cardosos, whose work is an investigation of the death of Jamal Khashoggi, a Saudi Arabian journalist who was killed in Istanbul. And this exhibition, and looking at the work, you might think, how does that connect? Well, that's in a way part of how we puzzle out this work, because his own story is one of puzzlement and a lack of clarity and lack of honesty in terms of what happened to him. Next to Naveen is a work by Praneet Soy, who's been a regular artist in the museum. And here he contrasts, or in a way makes a connection between Eindhoven, where we are here, where he's been working recently, and Palestine, where he's worked over the last 10 years almost. Two portraits, in a way, of two different places, and how craft, the body, handwork, how that affects the activities that people do in those two places. I think the work around Eindhoven is particularly interesting because it looks at the post-Philips city, you could say, something that maybe people in Eindhoven are still getting used to, the idea that it's no longer just the city of Philips, but it's something much more complicated and more layered. Next to Praneet, we have Zach Blas with a work that looks at another high-tech area and how it affects the body, in this case Silicon Valley, and how smart drugs and the image of what these big internet companies and social media companies do to you as a worker there, but also as a customer. The other side of Naveen, we have Laure Provost, and Laure's work looks at how we can use our bodies to re-educate ourselves, what she calls de-learn, how we can get away from a sort of intellectual understanding of the world and see what happens if we use our senses. And I think that's a very important message. And in the next work by Isla Steinbok, who's an artist from Brabant, we see, in a certain sense, another side of the body as an instrument, as something that medical science plays with. Something that's divorced from us as an identity, as humans. And I think overall this exhibition does have a technique, or does have a common thread of looking at how alienated we can be from our bodies and how maybe we need to find our way back to our bodies. I think particularly in Corona time, where we're restricted in how our bodies can meet each other and how we can connect to each other, where often we're seeing each other through the screen, like now. This is a particularly useful message, and one I think you can experience. So that's the exhibition, and I'd like to thank our funders, the Mondrian Fonds and Amodo, particularly for the support that they give to us. And finally, just to say, although I hope I've whetted your appetite a little bit, there is nothing like physically being in the museum and seeing these works. This exhibition, if it has a common thread, is about the body. And I hope that you can bring your body through the door and come in the next 4 months to Position 6. Thanks very much.